Hello, Hofstra fans, and welcome to the WB Mason Coaches Report with Seth Tierney, the head coach of Hofstra Men's Lacrosse. Seth, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Nick. How you doing?
I'm doing well today. Thanks for asking. You've had some time to sit and think about, go over the film on this past Friday's defeat to Navy. Matt Elder scored 3 goals. I think Mac had 11 saves. Chase Patterson, 12 faceoff wins, 8 ground balls. Talk me through that game. Where do you think Navy was able to, get the upper hand over you guys, and where do you think, you were able to pick your chances against the Mids?
Yeah, I mean, I incredibly disappointed on the way we started. Did not see that coming. We got together as a team, and as a team from top to bottom. It's not coaches different than players. It's all in one. And we are, as a group, incredibly disappointed on our performance in the first half. The second half, although, it was a 1-goal game, you can't eliminate what happened in the first half to just say that it was a 1-goal game. It just doesn't work that way. 60 minutes is what they say that you have to play in order to sometimes more to be victorious. So disappointed in that we didn't bring it to them and they brought it to us. And I think that's a lesson that we've learned. It's a lesson that we've talked about. Sometimes we don't learn it until it actually happens. It's like touching the stove. It's one of those scenarios, and we're hopeful that we've learned that lesson with this new team this year. So hats off to Navy and what they were what they were able to accomplish in the first half versus us. And again, I like the way we came out of the locker room. Maybe not the first 12 seconds where they scored to go up 8-1, but after that, we went punch for punch with a team that is, that's a pretty good team out there in the country. So we've got to learn from this. As everybody has, we've got some injuries to some key players that I think would have helped. I don't know if we would have started that way, what the verdict would be, but it happened. Everybody has injuries, and we move forward. So we did break down the film. We went over it with the guys. We had a long, hard meeting in the effort to learn this lesson.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely was, a humbling loss, I think, for the program, coming off of two wins over Merrimack and St. John, Sacred Heart, rather, kind of getting a little bit ahead of myself with that. But that's a good lesson to learn, choosing to take the tempo, that Hofstra tempo to the opponent rather than letting them dictate the tempo. That's a good, I think that's a good lesson to take from that Navy game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, all of these out of conference games for just about everybody are, ways to prepare yourself for the conference play, right? And so, we've got another challenge, and every challenge has been unique. Merrimack, the first game, then Sacred Heart coming in after that, and then playing a Friday night game, and now we've got a doubleheader weekend. Friday, Sunday, that's a new challenge. So every challenge we have until we get into conference play, we're hopeful that we learn a new lesson to be best prepared for when conference play hits.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what, you've kind of said everything that needs to be said about the non-conference schedule. It's finding out who you are and getting you ready for those conference games later in the year. Right. And you mentioned, the doubleheader this weekend, the Long Island Cup featuring us, future conference member Stony Brook, and then LIU and St. John's. It's very similar to college hockey tournaments such as the Bean Pot, up in Massachusetts, or the Great Lakes Invitational for our Midwestern Hofstra lacrosse fans out there. 4 teams, 2 rounds. The second round will be the championship of the consolation match. This really isn't in the sport of men's lacrosse. It's more of a college hockey thing. So how did this come about between all the 4 Long Island schools?
Yeah, I mean, to give credit to Jason Miller, over at St. John's, he's the one that initiated the idea, and then it was just, how do we find a common date that works for everybody, and this was going to be something that, the ideas were starting to be thrown around that was going to be, it could really have worked out into something pretty great, right?
Mhm.
Honoring a Long Island great at each game, each year, rotating the games on where they're at all the four schools, generate a lot of interest from the youth lacrosse on Long Island, all the way through high school, and really just bring attention to lacrosse season coming out. And then as we were putting it together, there was some conference shifting of what goes on, and Stony Brook will be joining the CAA in all their sports. I think they're already in CAA football, but they'll
Mhm.
be joining us as a full member in the CAA. And so that game will get pushed till later in the season when conference play happens. We're waiting to hear about what that conference will look like and the conference schedule will look like. But at that point in time, this idea or a lot of those think tank meetings over Zoom kind of just decimated a little bit until we let the dust settle, see where it goes. And then if we can continue it somehow, some way, the coaches will get back on a call maybe after this season and see if we can revive it for years to come. But we thought it was going to be something pretty special for Long Island lacrosse.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't get a lot of these in college lacrosse, and Long Island is one of the top hotbeds of the college lacrosse world. So what better way to celebrate that than all the four Long Island teams getting together? And who knows, maybe with Stony Brook joining, you can finagle one of these later on down the road again.
We'll see. We'll see, and we'll try.
Yeah, we'd love to see that. And you're starting off the game, starting off the Long Island Cup against LIU. They're 2-1 on the year. They're just coming off a win over Quinnipiac. They're bringing back the top offensive and defensive conference player of the years at attack and goalie. What have you seen from the Sharks in your breakdown of their film?
Yeah, certainly they've got guys in every position. Eric Wolf has done a wonderful job with that program of bringing it up to Division One and getting it acclimated to the talent needed. And now, he's there. I mean, there's no more transition. He's here and competing with the top teams out there and winning and and going through some losses just like every other team. So there's no more of the growing process for LIU. They're here. They've got some great players. They got great coaches. Lacalandra, number 4. A lot of things go through him. He's a very talented lacrosse player. Bellens is very good as his guy, his right hand, and as well as some off ball players inside and some guys that can get to the goal at the midfield. And they scrap it out at the face-off X. They got some good guys that can play some defense, and then they've got a goalie. And I think we all know how goalies could change the way of a game. A goalie gets hot. In this case, it's not him getting hot. He's a talented goalie all the way around, and he's made some big saves at some key moments. And this is a team that's going to come in here pretty fired up on Friday.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And, with Lacalandra, the reigning offensive player of the year of the NEC, Will Mark, the goalkeeper, reigning defensive player of the year, inside lacrosse, honorable mention All-American. It's cool to see Long Island making that, starting to, take some steps in the right direction after transitioning from Division II to Division I. Similar to Merrimack. So it's just making the college lacrosse scene that much more exciting.
Not an easy task. I don't know if people out there, when you transfer, when you try to take a team from a different division to Division I, what are the expectations? What are the challenges? How long is the growing pains or the growing process? And Eric Wolf has done a wonderful job thus far, as well as Merrimack.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exciting to see as the greater lacrosse world in general is just seeing with two more teams starting to succeed. It's awesome to see.
Yep.
So it'll be this Friday, February 25th at 3 p.m. The first of the Long Island Cup against LIU. Every game of this Long Island Cup will be streamed on Flow Live, and there will be audio-only broadcasts of the Hofstra games. Follow everything you can on Hofstra Men's Lacrosse at gohofstra.com. For head coach Seth Tierney, I'm Nick Capitos, and thank you for joining us for the WB Mason Coaches Report.